And now to tonight's big story. Police, community groups, and families weighing in on the deadly violence that we saw over the weekend, all trying to find answers and solutions. We saw more than 11 shootings across our city over the weekend. One of them killing a 30-year-old husband and father of 4 outside of his home on the east side. The Sosa family tells us Hector was actually celebrating his daughter's birthday party in the front yard. A confrontation with an uninvited guest led to that shooting.
He was a great father, husband, son, and the world just turned around and just took him from us.
Handfuls of other families experienced similar loss and heartbreak across our city. So what can we do to stop this cycle of violence? Tonight, our big story talks to grassroots groups, IMPD leaders, and heads of city programs, all with the same goal: to keep the people of Indy safe.
The first warm weekend of the year resulted in a wave of violence, reaching almost every corner of the city.
I think that anybody who works in this field of, of work knows that when summer is approaching, we're going to start seeing, more things happening.
Brandon Randall is with Voices Corp, a youth center in Indianapolis. He says, sadly, many of the teens he works with are desensitized to the violence.
It's not normal. This is not something that you should have to experience, especially as a young person.
And even though IMPD says the number of homicides is down, that doesn't mean the work stops for the dozens of grassroots organizations.
There's never a moment of stepping back, and there's never a break.
In order to see the change, he says it's going to take a lot more collaboration.
It's really about how to put organizations together to address all of the needs to best serve families and young people. And so it really takes this collective or village approach.
Saying part of that approach should include young people who are largely affected by this violence.
We just want to make sure that all families and all young people know that there are people out here who are fighting for them and who will serve alongside them.
It's something the city's new peacemakers are also trying to do.
One of the main things that they can do is just talk to the neighbors and try and see what kind of resources they can provide through community partnerships that we have.
But city leaders know it's going to take everyone before we see any change.
This is a team effort. This is not a city versus community. This is not a government versus community issue.
Today, IMPD's chief also weighed in on the weekend violence, sharing what the department's doing to make a difference. He's currently trying to fill 200 positions and looking to buy new tools like license plate readers. They've also grown the Peacemaker program with more than 40 life coaches, violence interrupters, and outreach workers across the city.
It's disappointing when we have a weekend like this because we had been seeing this trend move in the right direction. We want to continue that trend downward. So some things are going right. Something in there has worked, whether people have decided not to commit those crimes. We've got the right people off the street.
You can see how this year's homicides and murders compare to last year. Both the numbers are down and non-deadly shootings are down about 20%.
Already today, we've had another person killed and at least one other injured in shootings around Indy. The latest taking place around 9 tonight, this one on the west side near 465. That person was listed in stable condition at last check. Then earlier today, around 3, a person was shot and killed on the south side of Indianapolis near Madison Avenue and County Line Road. Right now, we're waiting for police to share more details about both of those shootings. Now, if you have any information that can help police, call Crime Stoppers. You don't have to give your name.